that appreciation you really feel at this club for sure.
Another wonderful save by Tim Krul.
It's such a constant mentally a battle with staying sharp, and you can never switch off. That feeling on a Saturday walking out and hearing the On the Ball City song and just 28,000 going mad, it's what you do it for.
Well, Tim, thanks for joining us here outside Carrow Road, and congratulations on over 150 appearances for the club. We'll start out here first of all. Last season, of course, you didn't get the time with the fans, but you had a moment when they weren't in there; they were all out here. That was kind of a bit of a moment, wasn't it?
I think the fences are still coming down. I think it was it was special because it was obviously difficult for everyone involved with the Corona time, and then it was weird because we were obviously promoted on that pitch, and there was nobody there to celebrate it with. So when we heard the fans out here, we were desperate to get out. I don't think the stewards were very happy with us, but it was important because everybody was so desperate to give that kind of appreciation.
Yeah, and we'll walk through now, and the tour of the ground, we'll go through it all. So you signed in the summer of 2018, walked through these doors, and first few people you probably would have seen would have been Delia and Michael. I mean, how did they make you feel when you first arrived at the club? Because it's a special club to be at, isn't it? And sometimes it can be difficult to attract players here, but was it a difficult decision for you to make?
No, it wasn't. Stuart Webber was a massive part of that, obviously, Daniel Fark at the time. So yeah, they obviously rang me and if I was open to come to Norwich City, and it was a gamble for both of us, obviously, because the club was in the championship, finishing 12th at the mid-table at the time. But I was just desperate to play again, and I was on the bench at Brighton at the time. And when I had the call, I said, you know what, I'm 30-year-old. I just want to go and show people that I'm back after my bad injury I had. And when I got the call, I said to my wife, let's go and let's take this opportunity with both hands.
And next thing you know, you're 150 odd appearances for the club, and time goes on quite quickly. And this is the tunnel. I mean, I've been in it plenty of times, so have you. It's quite a tight tunnel as well. You've had many tear-ups in here, because it can get quite tight during games, can't it?
Yeah, to be fair, it's kind of changed a bit like that. You're right. We've had a few more with referees when they haven't given, because the referee change room was just there. So we gave them a few lovely messages before they walked into the change room.
And this is here, obviously your spot.
Yeah.
When you come in on a match day, who's normally next to you? Do you always have the same person next to you?
Max Aarons and Zimmerman, kind of always, the defender's always on one side. So great moments, great memories, a lot of obviously promotion parties in here. But that, I mean, it's a roller coaster because you obviously have ups and downs, and that makes football special, because it wouldn't be as special if you haven't felt the hurt, I don't think.
No, exactly. And talking of those memories, you know, you've been in some teams that have won championships and relegations as well. You've kind of had it all. But, you know, as a goalkeeper, you know, I'll put this, goalkeeper's always been seen as a different breed in football, known as a goalkeepers union. Do you class yourself like that? Are you a bit separate to the rest of the boys and train differently? Because during the season, the goalkeepers train harder than anybody else do. You're constantly on it.
I understand why people say there's a special union going on. We're kind of always backing each other. We train, like you say, the first 45 minutes, we're always with the goalies. So that makes us a bit obviously special. Then we get the shout to come over and be targets in goal. And now obviously the goalies are always a bit crazy, because at the end of the day you have to be, because you get shots fired at you 100 miles an hour, and we're trying to block it with your face, with hands, with anything you can. So yeah, there's like I said, we've got a lucky to have a tight group, and the club are connected, you know, and to have the fans backing you every Saturday at Carrow Road is a special place to be. Yeah,
and it brings back memories for me coming back in here now. It's quite nostalgic, and it will be for you when your career finishes and you kind of come back. But so 10 to 3 on a Saturday afternoon, or 10 to 12 on a Sunday, depending if you're playing on Sky, whatever's going on. What's it like in here? How do you prepare yourself for that game? Are you quite vocal? Are you quite calm and relaxed, or you like to fire everybody up?
Yeah. I'm always been vocal. I always try to help as much as you can. But I think the last 10 minutes is kind of a moment for yourself where you just kind of get yourself your last bits, strappings ready. The manager gives you the last instructions. So it's a quite tense last 10 minutes. And when you get the bell, you know, you're only 4 or 5 minutes away from getting into the lines then. And those are, I think that's what you do it for. That special nervous feeling you still get in your belly when you walk out this door into the tunnel, when you know you need to be ready.
And this is your own territory as well, isn't it? As players, this is where you feel safe. You can kind of say what you want to say. I remember back in my day, Ian Krul, who was the centre midfielder, would be after the game smoking a cigarette out the windows, but times have changed a little bit since then. Yeah. But we'll just go through for the tunnel and on the walkout, because being a goalkeeper, you'd always be second in line, wouldn't you?
Yes.
So in terms of traditions getting out on the pitch, I know some players like to go first, some like to go last. You always have to be in the same place.
Always second, yeah. Yeah, it's a special thing. It's nice to be front of the line, I think. Just you're leading your team out with the captain. I think as a goalkeeper, you're always a leader. You always, like, I don't need the captain's band to be talking a lot or giving instructions, you know. So yeah, I've always felt that kind of responsibility as a goalkeeper, that you are part of the leadership group in that team.
Did you ever get nervous when you play? There's always a little bit of apprehension before you start, but as soon as you kind of get out onto the hallowed turf, onto the green stuff, you kind of feel relaxed.
Yeah, it's always leading up to the game. So the warm-up, when I get my warm-up done, then all the nerves are gone. Yeah. And I think I've been lucky with that, because I've had teammates who were still nervous walking on that pitch just before the whistle. So
we used to have some lads that were sick in the change room. So you get players like that still?
Yeah. You still get that. So I've been really fortunate that when the warm-up, because I always feel it's a bit of a cliche, but you've done your work leading up to the game in midweek, and I get my routine, I do my warm-up, and then I know I'm ready. And it's, but yeah, that butterfly feeling that still is still there. And I think when that goes, you need to pack it in, you know. And I think that feeling on a Saturday, walking out and hearing the Underball City song and just 28,000 going mad, it's what you do it for.
This is your territory, the 18-yard box. Do you treat it like that? This is my area, this is my domain.
It is special, yeah, it is. Again, it's a specific position, like you mentioned. The strikers, obviously, Pookie's got his box and I've got my box. And that's how we see it at the moment. And you're so close to the fans, and I like that, you know, the interaction with.
Well, do you get that? Because on a regular basis, you'd have the same faces kind of in the crowds. Do you get to know a few of them? And they shout things out?
Especially in the Barclay. There's one guy, I don't know his name, but he's with his hat, and on Saturday I actually said I might need that hat for the sunshine, and he's just he said only you can lend it. So it's nice, because I've always been lucky enough that Newcastle had a great relationship with the fans, but here, especially with the Barclay, they're that close, you know, and obviously we've had some amazing moments, and that appreciation you really feel at this club for sure.
That's what you get here, isn't it? Because a lot of modern stadiums now, the distance between the pitch and the stadium or the stand is quite a lot, so you don't get that interaction with the fans. So it's a bit very different, still tight knit, and you really feel that when they're with you as well. Yeah,
but this is it. You either embrace it or you can see players crumble, because it is daunting when you get abuse, because you still get abuse from both sides. It's normal, you know. You're not going to please 28,000 people, but I've been quite fortunate that I think the appreciation of the effort I've always put in, I get that back from them for sure.
And you've made some fantastic saves in this goal in particular. They kind of stand out in your memory of particular saves you've made.
And it's another outstanding save. Tim Krul flicking it away from Callum Chambers' effort.
I think more on that side, Barclay's side. I think the two penalty saves against Man United, that feeling, that celebration, looking at the crowd is special.
It's Rashford, and he's been defied by Krul. And that would have been Krul on Norwich.
It's a beautiful place, like you say. It's so, you actually got them behind you. You always say you want the fans behind you, but you literally got them behind you. And I don't think you should ever lose that, you know, that feeling, a full stadium and making a match-winning save or a last-minute worldie to get the win is what you do it for.
Gedson Fernandes arrived at Tottenham on loan in January. Krul comes off his line, gets back on his line. Fernandes has to score, and Krul saves it! Tim Krul keeps it out! Norwich City are there! They've knocked Tottenham out of the FA Cup. It was a poor penalty. Krul had to dive the right way. He does. He saves it. And now the Norwich players find extra energy from somewhere. They're running the length of the pitch to go and celebrate with 9,000 Norwich fans. The Canaries are through.
But also as a goalkeeper, there's nowhere to hide, is there? If things aren't going great for you at the time, when I was playing, I could kind of hang around in the middle of the pitch. You're not getting you can't hear it. I'd only ever get it when I go into the corners to take a corner. The goalkeeper, you've literally, especially when you're away from home as well, they're at you straight away. What's that like to deal with? Something you obviously get used to really quickly, I suppose.
Well, I'm lucky. My parents always, my youth has always been, it's either good or it's not good, and it's been clear cut. There's no hiding. If you make a mistake, stand up, hold your hand up, and deal with the next one. And I think as a goalkeeper, it's so important. You can make a mistake in minute 1. You still got 90 minutes, 89 minutes to go, and you need to be ready for the next one. And I've always been. I remember when I was a boy, 12-year-old in goal, and my dad was on the side saying, right, chin up, chest out, and go for your next one. And that's always been funny enough. Even now, when I know my family's in the family box, he still sits there and he still gives me that one. And that makes it. Those moments are special.
Yeah, and luckily you've been able to get the fans back here this season. I mean, I couldn't imagine the time when I played of the stadiums being empty. That period must have been such a weird thing to do, because you have to feed off the crowd and around you. I mean, that must have been so difficult to motivate yourselves to play.
Yes, it was the worst time. It's such a shame, because you do it to play in front of a crowd. That's what you do it for. They could be the 12th man to push you through, and especially the first time when we're still in the Premier League, those last 10 games, we needed them so badly, and they weren't there obviously because the obvious reasons. So even in the Championship, we knew obviously we were the better team most of the time, and we just needed the job done and get the fans back as quickly as possible.
Dykes. Oh, it's saved by Krul, and the follow-up is dealt with as well. Well, what a man this goalkeeper is when it comes to penalties.
Newcastle obviously jumps to mind. Have got fantastic support. How does Norwich kind of rank with their fans compared to some of the other teams you played for?
They're definitely up there. Even on Saturday, against Newcastle, we lost 3-0, and I walk outside to my car and there's 100 people waiting there who still give you that support, that love, and that means the world, because sometimes you think, oof, I just lost 3-0, and you have to face the crowd, and that's what you do it for. The appreciation, the love, that makes you want to train even harder and get the glory days and the results for them to give them something back.
Yeah, it is a family club, as people kind of use that perception, is it? I mean, now walking up to the goal where you did make that double penalty save, when you come back in years to come, that's one of the things you'll always remember from this area, isn't it? Because this is, I guess, what they call the noisier end of the crowd. This is where your fella's got the cap on, giving you a bit of stick. But so just talk us about Premier League football here, because it's the place to be, isn't it? And just playing football in general, it doesn't matter which league you're in. It's just what a brilliant thing to do for a job.
It's the best job.
Even in the dark times, the bad times as well.
You need those dark times to appreciate the good ones. And I think everybody wants to be on the highest level. Everybody wants to be in the Premier League, in the top 10, top 5, whatever, get Champions League. Of course, we all want that. And we want to bring those times back at this club. But again, like you say, we've had really some down moments, obviously, but those faces, to get smiles on the faces. And the other day when we're at Old Trafford, I see a dad with his little boy in a green and yellow kit. That's everything, That's for me later when I retire. I want to take my boy to the crowd, to the stadiums, and that's what I do it for. I look back sometimes when I've made a save, or there's a bit of a pause where I can switch off, and I look in people's eyes, and that gives me the inspiration still to do that.
Yeah, fantastic. And one thing I always want to ask about goalkeepers as well, when you're stood here facing this way, and obviously we're down the other end doing our thing and score a goal, more than ever now, you ever see everybody go up and celebrate a goal. But the goalkeeper's the only one who's kind of left there. Who do you celebrate with? Do you turn to the crowd?
I'm with the snake whip and the barkley. It's too far for me to run. I would love to join in with the celebrations, but no, it's that's where you talk about goalkeepers. That's the different breed. We obviously the bench are going mad, and that's the moments for us to just. I'm already thinking about what next. I need to organise, because that's the most dangerous time when we score, because everybody's still celebrating and coming back slowly, and they're just switching off, looking at the replays at goals and all sorts going, and I'm going mad because I know in 20 seconds they could be back at me. So it's such a constant mentally a battle with staying sharp, and you can never switch off.
No. And I see you itching sometimes to get up there. There's a late corner, something like that. Have you scored before?
I haven't. I've had a few chances. Yeah, I'd rather not go up because that means we're chasing something. But I've had a few, nearly a big assist to Pookie against Leeds the other day.
Can he make a contribution here, Tim Krul? Billy Gilmore floats it in. Gibson got to it. Rowe trying to keep it alive. Krul, Pookie, stopped by Meslier. Absolutely engrossing and enthralling this.
I would love to score. I don't know what I would do. Like, well, I would, yeah, I'd probably jump in the crowd or something. But yeah, that's one thing I need to do before I retire, I think.
Fantastic. And one question I've always wanted to ask your goalkeeper as well, I was racking my brains on the way here as to what I thought your answer might be, and I think I've sussed it, and I'm hoping you're going to say what I think you're going to say. So, bearing in mind you only get 1 point for a draw, okay? It doesn't matter what the result is. Would you take a 0-0 or a 3-3?
0-0.
I knew that's what you were going to say,
yeah,
for the clean sheet.
Yeah,
so you'd rather, the fans would rather see a 3-3
yeah.
with lots of goals and entertainment, but as a goalkeeper,
no.
0-0.
Yeah. If you said to me, win 4-3, then it will be different. If you get to 3 points, listen, of course, that's above everything, but no. As a goalkeeper, yeah, that's for us, that's our job.
Tim, look, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
Hopefully you can get another 150 under your belt before you leave Norwich City. Thanks a lot, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Top man.
Thank you.